Right, so I am on my way to the BMW dealership to pick up some parts that I ordered. I ordered them yesterday, and they told me if the parts are available in Germany that I was going to get them by today. So I got the message this morning about 9 o'clock or something, and it was like, yeah, your parts have arrived, so come pick them up. So I'm excited for that. Okay, so we have arrived. Go. More goodies! Yeah! Woo! Got my bits. Don't think I'm gonna have any time to install them anytime soon, but so tomorrow I'm going to get parts off a car that's being dismantled for parts. The guy unfortunately crashed it and doesn't need any bits off it, so I'm getting a sweet deal on that. And then when I have all of the bits I need, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything installed. That should be good fun. 316 power! Oh, it's slow, but it sure as hell is fucking fun. Right, so I decided to say, fucking screw it. I'm gonna fit the cable. Whoa, relax there with your high end eye. I'm gonna fit the throttle cable now because I would much rather drive tomorrow morning with a fresh throttle cable than drive. This is a left-hand drive car. It's in Europe, so what you're gonna need to do first is take out that bolt there, or a screw there. There is a screw down here, close to the pedals. You will see it just there. And then there's one more screw, and it is right here. This basically all three of these need to be taken out. And then afterwards, we can get the pedals a little bit more exposed underneath. And we can have a look and see exactly what needs to be replaced there. Some cars you might have a little buzzer right here. That's basically for when you leave your lights on, and yeah, it's just so it notifies you that, you know, turn the lights off before you leave the car alone. After this, basically this entire sub panel here can come out. So with that sub panel removed, we can see the entire pedal assembly, and what we are looking for is this system right here. So we're going to be changing the bushings here on either end. You can see the cream one here, the cream one on the other side also. There's one more over here. We're also going to be changing the bushing here. It's a small rubber bushing that holds the cable in, and there is another bushing on the inside here that kind of holds the spring, so it holds it on a plastic kind of collar, and that's what we're basically going to be taking out. This is essentially just to keep the pedal on the shaft, and what we're going to want to do is essentially just pull off or push off the clip. Maybe it works better maybe with tools, but I'm getting it off here with my hands, so it's not much of a problem. And this is what the clip looks like. So it's just a small little C-clip. This needs to be taken off, and then essentially what you can do is you could just push the pedal off the arm like so, and that's it. The pedal's now free, and then the next thing to do is remove this bushing here. So the next thing to do now is on this side right here. as you can see, there is another C-clip, different shape this time, and that holds the entire assembly essentially locked into this bracket here so that it doesn't slide this way. It's quite simple to take out. So I managed to get the clip off. This is the clip in question. I bent it a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be too difficult to bend it back into shape and stick it back on. But yeah. So what's next that we could do is essentially to slide out the shaft here, slide out this shaft with the rubber bushing outside of this accelerator rod, or the acceleration lever essentially. This shouldn't be too difficult, as the clip generally can just push through. Yeah, it's not very easy to do, not with the air duct being in the way, as it's kind of high up behind it. So you might want to remove this. I'm gonna try and see if I can get it out without removing the air duct, and afterwards we're gonna essentially pull this entire shaft out. How about that? There we go. Oh, I see actually the spring is also clipped in here, but I won't be able to get that out. Oh, so that's the rod out. Next is the bushing on the side. There we go. And that's the bushing out. So yeah, I'm gonna grab the new one and be back. Now, so as you can see here, this one is the old bushing, and this one here is the new one. So yeah, we're going from discolored, yellowish, rubbery plastic that's frayed to lovely new components. Again, this should just slide in, no biggie, and then we repeat the process on this side also. So this bushing is out, and we get the new one out of the packet. Here we go, and we just fit it in. Just like that. Now, so it might be a little bit difficult to see. I will get the screwdriver. Actually, the needle nose, because it'll probably work a lot better. But inside here, we have essentially a clip that needs to be squeezed and then pushed through, as this is what holds the cable in the firewall, and that it does not come out of the firewall. This is quite a lot more difficult to do, as there really is not enough space. I don't even think that the camera is picking this up. So this is not a great position to be in right now. There we are. Next thing on the list is back to the spring, and there is, oh, it fell out. Okay, so inside the spring there's another washer, spacer, whatever you call it. It's just so that the spring essentially is able to slide a little bit better on the shaft without catching or snagging, or eventually causing a groove in the shaft with metal rubbing on metal. So we're essentially just going to be replacing this with a new one, which I have got here. Probably slide this shaft through it, and then slide the shaft in the bushing, should mention, it would probably be a better idea to hook the spring on before sliding it in all the way, because then that'll reduce the risk of the spring actually grabbing on something else and not allowing you to slide it forward, like happened to me just there. Slide it all the way in. Do not forget about the clip. Back up to that end portion there. That's the clip. Back on. The next thing we need to do is in the engine compartment. So I'll get that trim out of the way. Pop the bonnet and we'll go to the engine bay. So at the engine bay, what we basically want to do is we want to take off these two bolts here to take the cap off the throttle body mechanism. And as you can see here, this is the route that the cable takes. So essentially we just need to take it out of there and then see exactly where it goes, which I'm pretty sure is somewhere down. That's it there. So I think I can actually pull that from there. Yeah, I can. Like so. And that the cable is out. Okay, so this is coming out to be a lot easier than I thought. So now with that ugly plastic cover off the throttle body, we can have a look better and see. If we pull the throttle body open, what we can do is essentially, oh, sorry about that. So what we can essentially do is pinch this clip together, essentially just push it out. What that'll do is that basically releases the cable, and from here what can be done is just essentially slowly wiggle it out. And with this can also come out because we got a new rubber bushing supplied with the new cable. So this is the new cable. This plastic piece, clip that I showed you, needs to come off the old one, and it essentially just separates in two as seen here. Be careful not to stretch it out too much because it could crack. Essentially what we need to do next is to slide the cable through here, back through the original one. If it's a 6-cylinder, it's going to be different. And you will notice here that there are two holes in this bracket. One is essentially the original one, which was for the throttle, and the second one is which this car is not equipped with. So essentially you're going to see two holes here. One of them is the original one that the throttle cable was going through, and that one goes straight to the throttle body, as can be seen here. And that's the throttle. And the second one is for something that this car was not fitted with, and that's cruise control. So don't confuse the two, because it could give you slightly wrong readings, as can be seen here. They're slightly different spacing apart, so it could give you a little bit of a shady pedal feel. So essentially what we do now is just slide everything through. The rubber is not very difficult to put in, but it may be a little bit stiffer because it's new rubber. This might work with some lithium grease or some PTFE lubricant, but I'm working with what I have here, and I do not have that, unfortunately, which is making it a little bit difficult. You can use makes it any easier, you could use a flat-headed screwdriver, but don't push too hard because you could end up damaging the rubber. So just enough to the point where you can just push it in. It's still not going in, still not enough, so a little bit more, and then that's it, it's in. Okay, so what we can do with this then is push it in. I would not recommend pushing from here, I would recommend pushing from here. This entire mechanism is plastic, with a plastic screw that you essentially can screw back and put tension on the cable, but I would not push from here. I would instead push from here, because this part is very, very easy to break. And it can be quite difficult to push it through. If it helps, you can twist it in or use some lubricant. Again, I do not have it, so I'm gonna use some spit, works just as good. And you know, if it works, it twerks. So that's that. Next thing we want to do is feed the cable through the hole, or not even. We can actually just go ahead and bolt it back to the clip, slide the clip over the cable like so, and then essentially just clip the cylinder or the cylindrical shape into the clip like so. And we can slide it back in through the hole and make sure the clip clicks when you push it into the throttle body, so like so. Now that's that for the moment. What we're going to do next is feed in this end of the cable. Now as you can see here, this end of the cable is not at a parallel angle to the rest of the cable. Sorry, not parallel, perpendicular. As you can see, it's got a slight bit of an angle. What this basically means is that this part points down, because if you imagine it being on the firewall, then that means that the cable is pointing down towards the accelerator and the engine bay side is pointing upwards to come towards the engine, as the hole is right there and you can see it's slightly angled upwards. So we want to make sure that the angle is also upwards, or else if you install it, your cable will be facing downwards. So on the old throttle cable we had a small little rubber bushing on the hook side that basically hooked up to the pedal in the cabin. This bushing essentially is old, it's frayed. If you're going to bother changing the throttle cable, I would recommend that you change this bushing anyway. It only cost me like what, €1, €2 maybe at most. There we go. So you can see it there. It's much cleaner, much newer, much nicer. I mean, what the fuck? Holy shit! You scared the fucking crap out of me. Get out of my car! What are you doing? Oh man, go away, huh? There's no need. Fuck. Scared the fucking shit out of me. I lost my fucking train of thought, bitch. But essentially, you just want to press this bushing in to the hole, like so. Once that's been completed, essentially what you do is you grab the cable and you just push the cable in through that bushing that you just installed. Again, it'll be way easier to do it with two hands and during the daytime, but yeah, I work a lot. Oh no. Again, if it's any easier for you guys, you could use some lubricant. I've one, again, just gonna lob some spit on it because it's inside and it'll all evaporate anyway, and I don't really give a damn. Now what we need to do is slip the throttle cable back onto the shaft, the leverage shaft. Now the only thing needs to be done is basically to stick the pedal back on the shaft, and do not forget about that circlip. There we go. No, and that should not come off. If you notice, there is some play in the throttle pedal. So we're going to go back to the engine bay now, and basically that play in the pedal translates to this play in the throttle body. So essentially what we want to do is we would like to back this nut out and make sure that everything is sitting as flush as possible inwards. We basically want to twist this nut until we can oh man, that cat is in my car again. What do you want? I know you want to get out of the wind here, but like, man, this is my car. Please, come on. I want you to get out. No, that's what I'm working on. Oh man, I wish I had my own garage. Please don't go in any deeper. Matt, what do you want? Oh, come on, let's get you out of here, huh? There we go. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Goodbye now. Bye bye. Go away. Go away. That way. Somewhere. Just go. No, I don't need your help. Thank you. Bye bye. So I didn't finish videoing the install of the accelerator cable because my phone died, and there was no point in really waiting around to film again after the phone was charged, because the process was almost pretty much finished. Putting everything back together is just the opposite of taking it all apart, so I figured I'd just go ahead and complete it. I went out and I got some new parts, namely what is the most important thing that I wanted to do is I got a complete wiring loom for retrofitting cruise control. I got the cruise control unit. I have the cruise control motor that pulls on the throttle cable, including the throttle cable and all hardware necessary to mount everything up. Also got wiring diagrams, and I also took photographs on how to mount everything up, but I'm going to make a video and show how to retrofit it into the car. I also got a set of Bosch ellipsoid headlights. I took them apart because I wanted to clean them out inside, and also I realized that the seal around the headlight is gone, so there's that just needs to be replaced. I also got myself a new steering wheel. It's the sports steering wheel. Not that there's anything wrong with mine, but I did buy a restitching kit to wrap the steering wheel again, and I think it'd be easier to wrap this one outside of the car and then just swap over steering wheels. Also managed to get some wooden trim. It's, I don't know, it's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to like the classic look. I got it for free because it was cracked in quite a lot of places, and yeah, the guy gave it to me for free, and I just kind of super glued it together. But also here at the ends, which I'm gonna try and get to focus. I'm not sure if you can make that out, but there's cracks here along the edge, and here also. I just put some super glue in there in the cracks just to kind of stop it from splitting any further. Other than that, it looks pretty cool. It's nice. It's shiny. It's wooden, and it's retro. It's cool. But that's about it. It'll take me some time to actually do the wiring, but I'm going to make a video on how to install all the components, and then the wiring is going to be the last big job. The dashboard doesn't actually need to come out to install it in, or to take it out. I did take it out of the donor car because the donor car was eventually just going to be scrapped anyway, but yeah.